of height, and the
Welcome, Gemini, to my temple, the temple of tarot, astrology, and yoga. My name is Ava. Please come in. You are now attending your November 2025 Astro Tarot forecast, a reading relevant to you if your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign is Gemini. I follow the transits of two planets, Mars and Venus, exclusively, and we follow that up with a 4-card tarot spread reading. I try to bring those two forecasts together and see if there's any kind of correlation so that we can get a much more in-depth understanding of the events coming up for November. This month, Gemini, we have Venus transiting Scorpio, your 6th house. The 6th house is known to be a sector concerned with your well-being, your health, your physical, mental well-being, as well as the work that you do, how you produce, what your service is, what your contribution is, and how you sustain yourself economically. This is a beautiful alignment because Venus is the planet of good fortune and love, cooperation, well-being in general, in the house of health. So you can see what this means. It means that you have an opportunity to heal if you haven't been well. This month is where you put your heart into your well-being, self-love. It could also mean that you have work that gives you pleasure, pleasurable work, producing things that ultimately make you feel fulfilled. So these are the rewards of your labor, financial and or otherwise, creative rewards for your labor. Mars, on the other hand, is in the 7th house. The 7th house is a house concerning your primary relationships. So Mars represents pure energy. And so you're putting energy into your relationships, those that mean something to you, to deepen them, to make them more exciting, to make them more relevant to your everyday life. That is, bringing in your relationships to your life experiences, not having everyone on the periphery, but pulling them in, magnetically attracting them to you, and devoting a lot more attention to those relationships. Now, the combination of these two things is quite wonderful because it could be that through your relationships, you gain pleasurable work, or your work is made that much more joyful through your relationships. Somehow your relationships get involved with your work or with your health. You might see that people are very helpful in trying to aid you, physically aid you in overcoming whatever illness or physical problems that you might have been having. So, a month of healing and a month of deepening your significant relationships. Now, this is just the backdrop, astrological backdrop to the upcoming tarot forecast. So let's go there right away. I'm so curious to see what's going to bloom from this very fertile astrological soil. So thank you very much for joining me, and wait for your tarot forecast coming up next. So welcome to your tarot forecast for November 2025. Again, relevant to you if your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign happens to be Gemini. I hope you've been well this month, Gemini, because November is going to be a month of recovery and work that is rewarding, both financially and psychologically. So the cards are ready. They've been shuffled. And what I like to do is I like to put 2 reversals in there arbitrarily, and then shuffle just a little bit more. There we go. And talk to you a little bit about, well, the ending of this incredible year. Perhaps peace has finally come to the world, a little late, but I'm very grateful for rumors of peace that are about us now. And perhaps this will give us a little reprieve from all the worry and anxiety that comes with conflict. Oh, by the way, speaking of conflict, Mars in the 7th sometimes can lead to conflict within important relationships, differences of opinion. Particularly this month, it might be a difference of opinion as to how you go about treating yourself, an ailment or some kind of physical disability. How you treat that might be under contention with a significant relationship. They may not agree, or they may not agree about some work project or work situation. But you're blessed with physical well-being in November, as well as work that satisfies on a very deep emotional level. So we're ready. You take your left hand and you make 2 piles. And let's do it this way today, just randomly. All right. Here we go. This is a very simple 4-card spread. The first card represents the overall mood, energetic theme of the month of November. All right. Here we have the Two of Swords. Twos are about choices. Twos represent dichotomy. That is, being torn between two options, two ideas, two ways of evaluating a situation. As you can see, our lady here, the Lady of the Swords, she's blindfolded. And those swords are crossed over her chest, over her heart. Being blindfolded means that you have no clarity. You can't see which way you should choose, what direction you should go. This could be concerning work, your health, or again, within the context of a relationship. You may be at odds again with someone whom you have a deep tie with. You may not see eye to eye. You may not be able to come to an agreement. Maybe a contract is delayed. A decision is delayed until you get more information, until you get clarity. You sit still. See how still she is? Those swords are crossed over her heart, which means that she's not able to access her intuition, her inner knowing. With her blindfold on, she may be able to view things that she can't see otherwise. So the advice of the card is to go inward and to examine your choice or choices deeply before you make them. So that's the overall mood, energy of the month. All right. More swords, and you're an air sign. So you're in your element. Regardless of, Geminis, they are very intellectual. That is, they like to think about ideas. They like to examine pros and cons of situations so that they can come to a reasonable conclusion. But they can get manic. They can get overly analytical. And sometimes what this might be saying is that there's a sense of being over analytical, overthinking something. We have the Four now of Swords in the position of what will challenge you. Look at him. He's the protagonist in the image has just returned from a battle in war. He's a soldier. He survived. That coffin was meant for him if he hadn't survived. He's in deep contemplation here, as the Two of Swords is also in contemplation. And again, there's a sense of reprieve, being in a sanctuary, being removed from the battle, taking yourself out of the battle so that you can contemplate your life and the meaning of your survival, of your life. So there's a sense of being removed from the stress, the turmoil, so that you can get a firm grounding of your mind, to ground yourself, to stop ricocheting back between two options, two ideas, and just to rest and to absorb what has taken place so that you can more intuitively reach a decision to make your choice, the Two of Swords. So it's advocating a removal from the tension and contemplation of how you got there and what is coming up next. In the position of the unexpected, we have another 4. And with Venus in your house of work, it's interesting that we should get the wealth card. Unexpected money. Unexpected this is a card that indicates someone who's very possessive of his things. Money, the things that money can buy. This is King Midas, the king who loved gold so much that Spirit granted him the ability to turn anything he touched to gold. So it's come to mean wealth. Wealth created out of desire. And a possessiveness of that wealth, a sort of maybe a little paranoia about what you could lose, and so holding on tight. Now sometimes that gold coin that he's squeezing so tightly can be material possessions, and Pentacles is about the material world, but it can also represent relationships, people, jealousy, holding on too tight, or being paranoid about whether someone belongs to you. And so there's an exaggerated holding on. This is, again, it could be your possessions, it could be literally gold, your wealth, trying to manage it, trying to keep it, trying to save it so that you don't lose it. All of that might be possible, but again, Venus is the planet that represents good fortune within work. So it makes sense that this could be some kind of unexpected reward, unexpected gold that you then must manage, hold on to, or something to do with your relationships, some unexpected feeling of wanting to possess, wanting to keep someone close, also perhaps the sharing of your possessions, your wealth, with those that have that means something to you emotionally. So let's see how it ends. Goodness. More swords. The 10 of swords. So you've had enough. Something is definitely over. You've reached the pinnacle of what was possible. And now what you have here is the depiction of a very absolute end. He has all these swords in his back and he's laying prone. He's done. You're done with something. Maybe with someone. Maybe with some episode, some relationship. Done. You've reached the end of the road. There is nothing, there's no more to give. Something reaches an absolute end, which can have stress repercussions. That is Mars in the 7th of relationships. Perhaps a relationship comes to an end and it becomes mentally a mental strain on you. But why this card is so profoundly positive is because at this point, all that has led up to this conclusion is now resolved. It's done. You can move on to better times and better experiences. We all learn lessons. Perhaps the lesson here is one, the 2 of Swords, the overall mood, where you must make a choice. You must. You don't have the clarity, you believe. You don't have the clarity to make that choice. This is the mood of the month. But at the end, the choice is made. And the choice is that something is over. You're done. And the Ace of Swords, you see, life is a wheel, a circle, like that. And once we reach the 10 of Swords, we then are reborn, rebirthed with the Ace of Swords, with a completely new journey begins. But the phase of its conclusion must be lived through. So this is what is happening. Well, we've got 2 4s in this reading. The 4 of Swords and the 4 of Pentacles. 4s are about stability, mental stability and material stability, which must be the groundwork necessary for this very dramatic conclusion where you make your mind up. And there's sort of no coming back from that choice. So you're provided wealth and mental stability so that you can overcome indecision. So hopefully this will make some sense, as well as help you in some way during the month. So I'd like to say that it would be interesting if you could give me some feedback if this particular reading resonates with you. And remember, you should look also on your sun, rising, and moon sign to give you an overall insight into the particular happenings in your world. So, thank you very much for coming to the reading. And if you would like to support the channel, or if you want a reading, a private personal reading with me, I'll leave a link below. So thank you. And I'll see you next month. Namaste. Please sit down with your legs folded underneath you. This will be a sequence designed to release the stress from your shoulders and your neck. Bring your arms behind you, lace the fingers together, and then gently bring your elbows in, straighten the arms, look up slightly. Inhaling, we lift the arms up towards a right angle. Hold up as far as you can, feeling the area between your shoulder blades, continuing to breathe through the nose. Then gently lean forward, drop over your legs, bring the forehead down, and keep the arms pointed straight up, elbows in close together. Feel it through the neck and the shoulders. Hold and breathe. Come up gently. Lower your arms, separate the fingers. Bow your head down. Bring the arms forward. Put your hands over your knees. Look up. Pull back, bringing the shoulders forward and inward. Looking up. Release the back of the neck. Breathe slow and deep. Face forward, bring your arms behind you. We do it again. Linking the fingers together, straightening the arms, lifting the arms up at the shoulders, looking up. Feel it. Don't hold your breath. When you're ready, lean forward. Drop your head down. Pull the arms up and drop them slightly back behind you. Concentrate on that area between the shoulder blades and through the shoulders. Feel it there. Breathe gently through the nose. Feel it. Lower your arms, lift the torso. Bring the arms down, unfold the fingers, bring the hands forward, wrap them around the knees. We bow the head down and we pull the center of the back towards the back, opening up the vertebra and opening up the shoulders. Then we face forward and we take a deep breath, bringing hands into prayer. We bow. We say namaste.